What's the Car Talk podcast?
Hello and welcome back to the Car Talk podcast, a show where we talk about the latest car news and transportation opinion, of course. Joining me this week and this month is Matty. How are you doing, Matty?
Very good, thanks. You may notice that we are in the new Matty Towers. We've moved in.
Nice. Has it got a garage?
No.
Oh,
no. It has got a cellar.
That's something then. You could probably put a car in there.
Yeah, if I build a ramp, I can have my very own back cave.
Sounds sick. Unfortunately, we've got no guest again this month. It's been a bit of a struggle, isn't it, Matty? Getting our women guests on. But we will get there eventually. We are going to push forward and be successful. Of course, we're going to start
maybe in
off...
season 4.
Yeah, maybe in season 4, maybe 4 years' time. Of course, we're going to start off with the car news, obviously, but we're going to talk about some things that are basically pointless on cars, or like different gadgets and things like that later on, which would be our theme.
We're doing a car accessory, hot or not, basically,
yes,
isn't it?
Pretty much.
Most of them, if you want a spoiler, they're not. In my book, anyway. Yeah,
same me. Would you like to start off with the car news, Matty, this month? See what's going on with that?
I certainly can, and it is bad news from the north, once again, ladies and gentlemen. A report out this week that 10,000 Jaguar Land Rovers cars are effectively stuck in the dealerships doing nothing because there is a parts shortage. According to Autocar magazine, workshops at JLR are at breaking point, and they're also running out of courtesy cars / loan cars to give to the customers. So, Land Rover once again flying the flag for British engineering. Have you still got a Land Rover, Bailey?
So I have.
Don't let it break down, whatever you do.
I'll try not to. I don't know how that would be possible. Just drive
technically,
it normally.
Technically, it will break down, but
hopefully not. I have a new Skoda, Matty. We know how much we like Skodas. Not. It's the new Kodiaq, which looks exactly the same as the old one.
Why have you brought this up? I've seen this. I'm meant to be the boring one with the sort of mainstream cars, and you've literally... I skipped that and you've brought it up.
Yeah, because that's why I haven't found anything interesting this month. So I was like, I got to talk about the new Skoda instead. But what's interesting about this, Matty, is it comes with a hybrid option.
Really?
And sports trim with exclusive wheels. Loads of new interior tech as well, which was on the previous as well. So that's the Skoda.
Great. Moving on to cars that you might wish still existed, but won't exist for much longer. We do this every couple of months, where we announce what cars are going out of production, and this month there are 2. The first one to be announced was the Volkswagen Up is going to cease production, and I think that's actually quite a good car.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's got its niche. It's got its economical sort of type of thing, which is more economical than the Polo and the Golf, isn't it? So why would they get rid of that?
Yeah, well, we all love a small car that you can thrash about. There's nothing like the small car and the first car experience, and this has opened up a bit of a chat that I'd like to put out to you, Bailey, a bit of a conversation, because also announced this week is the Citroen C1. That is going out of production as well. And what I'd like to ask you, Bailey, is obviously... My first car was a Saxo, your first car was a Ibiza.
Yeah.
Yep. Fairly small cars. And for those sort of new drivers that can afford fairly new cars or brand new cars, in about 4 or 5 years' time, what are they actually going to buy? Because there isn't an awful lot of these small sort of 1 litre cars left. And when I say small, I mean like Citroen C1 small, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like city cars sort of thing.
City cars,
It's a good question, Matty. I reckon that they'll probably end up driving crossovers, because that's like the second down from an SUV, isn't it?
Yeah, well, probably. But who can afford a crossover? Do you know what I mean? It's unless your parents are still together, perhaps maybe you'll get a crossover for Christmas off your off your parents. But like, I live around a big student population, and the streets surrounding my house are littered with Fiestas, Corsas, Citroen C1s, Peugeot 107s, and obviously the Corsa is still here. The A-Class is still here.
Do you really see students drive around A-Classes?
Well, maybe more mature students drive around in A-Classes. But what I'm saying is, in terms of small cars, in terms of small cars, we've still got the A-Class, the Corsa, the Ibiza, but that's going to turn into a Cupra. There's not a lot left, is there?
No, it's a bit sad, isn't it? We do like our little small hatches.
Oh, or evidently we don't, because they're not making any more.
Well, yeah, that's the stupid part about it. Matty, BMW. Do you like BMWs? I know you've owned one.
I like the old BMWs. I don't like the Chinese BMWs.
Yeah, well, you won't like this new one, which is the BMW X2, which is a completely new coupe SUV thing.
That's another news article I swiped right on today. Is it left or right? Is it left or right that you say that you don't like? Swipe left. A swipe left.
Yeah, the left. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Swipe left.
Because right is always right. But this is going to have it's going to be an M35 version, which has got the 2-litre 300 horsepower engine, and obviously they're doing other stuff like electric versions too as well. But what do you think of the looks, Matty? I think it looks hideous as usual.
Do you know what? Right, when the old one come out, I actually quite liked it because it was quite a chunky sort of shape, and it didn't look too SUV.
Yeah, it was a raised sort of hatchback almost, wasn't it?
This one is bigger, bulkier, taller, and more pointless. Basically.
Wait, where does it sort of fit in? Because they've already got the X3 and the X4 and the 5 and the 7.
I really don't know. I think it's maybe for people who like want jacked up height but don't want an SUV sort of thing. But it's a strange one. Do you remember a few years ago? I don't actually think they still make these cars anymore. But BMW brought out the Gran Coupe range.
Yes. So the GT, wasn't it?
They had they had the 4 Series Gran Coupe, GT Coupe, whatever you want to call it, and that looked all right. But then you had like a 5 Series, but it was taller, but not an estate, but longer, and it just it looked like the Dacia Jogger basically. It couldn't decide whether it was a saloon, an estate, or an SUV, and that's rather where I think BMW is going wrong. I think they're trying to get their fingers in too many pies. How they can make something as elegant as the current 3 Series, which I do think is quite a nice car, to making something like an X2. Like, imagine telling someone that you wanted to impress that you've got a BMW and then turning up in the brand new X2.
I mean, it's all right if it's the M35 version, but why wouldn't you just get a normal M3 or something, or something equivalent?
Why don't everybody either just buy a 3 Series or a 7 Series if you want to show off? That's it. They're the only 2 cars that BMW should really make.
Yeah,
fuck the 1 Series, fuck the 4 Series, whatever the fuck that is. The 5 Series, that's
nice, to be fair. I like the M5.
It's nice. It's nice, but it's not doesn't drive as well as a 3 Series. So just buy a 3 Series, buy an E46. There we go.
Agreed.
Now, did you have something else to say? Sorry, Bailey.
No, I've just got another car that's not interesting. Shall I get it out of the way?
It out of the way.
It's the new Citroen EC3.
Wow, is that the one that's going to be really cheap? The cheapest new EV?
Yes.
I thought so. It was. I scrolled right past that.
I'm not surprised, mate, because I was tempted to as well. But it looks kind of funky. It kind of looks like a Chinesey version of a Citroen. For some reason, that seems to be the theme at the moment. But this would do 199 miles of range, which actually isn't very good. It only has 113 horsepower, but it's going to cost, like you said, under 20 grand, or about 20 grand, which is probably the cheapest.
It's also responsible for the demise of the Citroen C1 as well.
Is it?
it's one of the unofficial replacements. So I've already fell out with it for that, and it looks it's.
I think it looks
if you look at
right.
the car, but you've got the Citroen C3 Aircross. So why don't you just call it the EC3 Aircross?
But that's too many words, isn't it? For the French.
Yeah, but what is the point? What is the difference between that and an Aircross? This is
also it's pretty much the same as the Dacia. What's it? Thingy.
Duster.
Yeah, a similar sort of thing than that. I'll just get the Dacia. It's a better looking car.
Well, yeah, the Dacia as well. They're planning on making the cheapest electric sort of crossover thing, aren't they? So,
and that would be better, I think.
I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm just bored of all these, mate. To be honest, all these stupid crossovers for no reason. It's so dreary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really terrible. Bailey, do you like Mercedes?
Yes, mostly.
Do you like electric Mercedes?
Not really, no.
Good, because nobody else does. In the news this week, Mercedes dealers have been struggling to sell their EVs. People have been saying that the EQS, which I remember we mentioned on the very first edition of the Car Talk podcast when it came out, and am I right in saying that I weren't too sure of it, really? Was I?
I can't remember, to be honest, but yeah, probably.
Well, yeah, it was. It didn't really float my boat, and obviously it hasn't been floating the boat of the British public. If you look at the top 10 best-selling EVs in the UK, it's mainly dominated by Tesla. But beating Mercedes is both Audi, BMW, Mini, and of course the likes of Kia, who do have a few electric cars. Even Polestar, which is the Volvo division of electric cars. Mercedes haven't even made it into the top 10 with the EQ range. Quite concerning, really, for the company that actually created the car, so they claim, isn't it?
It is, but I'm not interested.
No, neither am I. Here's something you will be interested in, actually, Bailey. Research this week from Car Vertical. Have you ever heard of them?
Yes, that's the you put the plate in and it gives you information, doesn't it, about it?
Yeah, I mean they only sponsor every YouTube video ever that's got a sponsorship deal.
They haven't sponsored me yet. Or this
no,
podcast.
we're our faces don't fit. Maybe they don't sponsor people who drive Land Rovers
or Lexus.
Yeah, possibly. Obviously, there's no point in putting a Lexus reg into Car Vertical because they're all that well looked after that you're basically wasting £12.99.
Exactly. Yeah.
There isn't a single Lexus out there with hidden crashes or hidden history, or no one's ever stolen a Lexus. Do you know what I mean? They're garaged and they're owned by lovely old people
and architects.
Yes, nice people own a Lexus.
Yes.
Dumb people own a Land Rover.
Can you stop rubbing it in? Because I just don't even own it, really.
It's just mad that every single car that you buy is just the wrong choice.
It's not, though, is it? And I didn't actually buy the Land Rover. Did you watch my video on it, actually, recently?
I did watch it, yeah. And obviously you've took it out of sympathy, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Car Vertical, they've released some research this week, and they've been researching how do you say this? The car maker that is most likely to have cars with hidden damage. What do you think the top one is? Or there's a few, but what do you think the number one is?
Something like a Golf R or something.
I understand you. I understand your
Fiesta.
guess. Yeah, I understand your guess. Yeah, I understand your logic in that. It's actually Vauxhall, which makes sense because obviously Vauxhall make the Corsa. Hooded thugs buy that. Mm-hmm. Subsequently, crash it in the McDonald's car park. You've also got Fiat on there, which makes sense because of the Fiat 500, which is bought by
women.
people driven. Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I was more
It's definitely
going to say I was going to say driven by bimbos who go to the Slug and Lettuce,
Which is the same thing, isn't it?
Well, but there's a difference between a woman and a bimbo, isn't there? No.
Yeah, maybe. Just before I don't get too controversial.
Yeah, closely followed by Seat, Fiat, and Alfa Romeo. What would you like to know? What do you think is the most expensive car to fix after it's been in a crash or written off?
A Alfa Romeo.
Close.
I don't know. I kind of want to say like a Vauxhall or something because they're just I
No,
don't know.
you're wrong. It's Peugeot, but they effectively
Really?
Vauxhall these days.
Right, okay.
Um,
Half there,
which-
half point.
Which leads me on to a bit of consumer advice. According to the Auto Express, this is the deal of the day. Jump into a top spec Peugeot 3008 for 18 months. That's just too long, isn't it? For £241 a month. Grab a great deal on the outgoing 3008, then trade up to a new one. That's our deal of the day, quoted October 18th, 2023. So, a little bit of consumer advice. If you want a Peugeot 3008 for £241 a month, you can get one. Just don't crash it, because according to Car Vertical, it'll be very expensive to repair.
Good consumer advice there, Matty.
Thank you, thank you.
Have you got anything else you'd like to talk about? Because I'm pretty much done for car news, which was quite
Yeah.
boring.
I'm done as well, mate, yeah.
Cool. We'll move on to our theme then, which is, of course, things in cars that are good or bad, or pointless or not pointless. Would you like to start off, Matty? Because obviously you've got some more than me. 'Cause I couldn't
Well,
think of anything.
yeah. What would you like me to start off on? Do you want me to start off on the accessories that you should have and that are good?
Yeah, let's start positively and talk about the things that we
Let's
be
start
good to have.
positively. This is very simple, viewers and listeners of the Car Talk podcast. I'm going to give you the 3 vital things that you need. And after I've said these, you don't need anything else, okay? Number 1, it is the FM transmitter. Do you know what I'm on about with that?
Is that the thing that you put in and it reads if there's any like damage or like issues with the car?
No. This is the FM transmitter. So,
Oh, is in the radio thing.
yeah. If you
Okay,
buy a car that doesn't have Bluetooth, you simply put this
Of course,
FM transmitter into the cigarette lighter, match it to your stereo, the little digital display, 88.9, and then connect your phone to the Bluetooth. Bang! You've got Bluetooth.
That's brilliant.
Isn't that a great idea? And if you think, my car doesn't have a cigarette lighter, well, if it's got a tape deck, then you can buy a tape deck with an aux lead hanging out of it. A tape player, cassette tape, and you put it in, plug your phone into your headphone jack if you haven't got an iPhone, and you can play music through that.
They're great. I actually used to have one. I don't have one anymore because I've got an aux, but yeah, they're really good if you haven't got anything proper in your car.
And so that's 2. Very simple, very easy. And the final one, and I don't know how you may disagree with me on this, but this is an absolute godsend, I think. Have you seen the? I'll have to put a picture on screen. It plugs into your air vents, and it's like a little rubber tray, and it is the perfect size to hold a sauce from McDonald's.
Really, that's brilliant. Never heard of that before.
Yeah. I've actually got one. I was meant to get it out of my car to just show on camera, but yeah. So no matter what your flavour is, curry, ketchup, sweet and sour, it all fits in this little rubber tray, which means
That's
that while
excellent.
you're eating your Mackies, you just dip it in.
I'll
And
have to invest in that.
it's just the simple things in life, and
It
everything
is.
we're about to mention that you don't need is a reason why we've got all this shit in landfill. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well,
So-
I'd quite like mention the things that are good as well that I've got down. One
Of course.
I've got 2 little things. Having an air freshener is very vital because it makes the car's aroma nice, especially if you're picking up passengers. And obviously, like similar to what you just said about the ketchups and the sauce holder, a phone holder as well. So you're not on your phone or in your lap, which I need to do.
Very true. Very true.
Haven't got one of those yet.
What sort of passengers are you picking up in your Land Rover?
Well, obviously the girlfriend. Want it to smell nice in there, and obviously just the girlfriend. If you're single, it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, well, good. That was a good save. Good save. And what would you say is the most inviting smell of an air freshener? Which would you go for? Maybe do you go for Magic Tree? If so, what flavour? Which is in your
sex
experience
wax are good?
Which smell provides the best aphrodisiac?
I don't know, but the sex wax are really good. Like you can buy them online. They're called sex wax. I don't know why. And also there's a little like
sexual acts.
No, sex wax.
Sex wax. Okay, I'll write that down.
And I've bought like custom ones. So I bought one for my Mazda when I had it. That's another piece of news. My Mazda has been sold. I forgot to mention that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And I bought like a Mazda shaped air freshener, which smelt really good. There was a vanilla one that I got as well. So just stuff like that. You could just buy like random ones, and they all smell different. It depends on your style. But yeah. Should we talk about the bad things that we don't want in a car?
How long have you got?
What, in terms of my things?
No, how long have you got? Because I've got a lot of stuff here.
I haven't got many, but I've got a while to listen to you talk about it.
Have you got all night? Because this...
Well, I want to... Let's give us a go, Matty. Let's see what you've got.
I mean, in no particular order, pads that stop things falling off the dashboard.
Pads.
They're tacky.
True, yeah.
Leather tubes to stop things going down the seats. They're wrong.
Have they? What cars have got those in?
Well, basically, when you said that we have to provide pointless and shit accessories, I couldn't really think of any because I don't have any of them. So what I'd done is I googled cheap car accessories for Vauxhall Corsa on YouTube, and I'm listing off everything that people have put in their Vauxhall Corsas. Anything LED.
I like LED lights though.
Would you put one of those LED strip lights around the inside of your car and change the colour with the remote? Like that little Chinese kid with the Corsa on YouTube. What's his name?
What cheeky and cultured?
No, not him. He's nice. The other one, the bigger one, he's like, I can't remember his name now, but he's I basically just watched a load of his videos and I thought, you are exactly the type of person that we need to stop. Like the things that hang onto the seats when you store like Febreze in it and that. Dashboard plastics. Have you seen them things? And you can have like green lines on your air vents and stuff, and it's just plastic stuff, and you can put it around your rims as well.
and the little like squidgy like toy things that you can put in your air vents as well, just for no reason. What is that for?
Going in the bin. I don't know.
I've got more like interesting things that come as standard on cars that I put down. So like AdBlue, like on the new diesel cars, you have to put AdBlue in the winter. Why? Why can't we just have a normal like why do you have to put another thing, like another different type of liquid in a car? What's the point? I mean,
I think it's supposed to make the fumes out of the back
more clean.
Cleaner.
Yeah. But still, why can't they just make the car proper and not have to put another thing in the car?
I mean, look, I can't get cancelled for this comment because I'm quoting here, but I read something on Twitter.
Twitter.
I read something on Twitter that said, it was talking about AdBlue. It said, honestly, I can't. It said, honestly, one girl dies from breathing in fumes in London, and now we have to put up with AdBlue issues in all our diesel cars. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, just stop now.
Seat massagers. I think that's kind of stupid.
They're good. I like them.
But if you're driving along and you're like going, oh, that's so good, you're just going to turn off and just fall asleep, aren't you? And it's just unsafe.
Well, what are your thoughts on heated seats? Because I can't believe the amount of people that dislike them. I love heated seats. Did you know, though, they use more fuel?
Yeah, which I noticed on the way back earlier from filming, because it was quite cold a minute ago when I got back about, an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I had my heated seats on, and obviously the fuel went down quite a lot. It was like 20 miles, and actually I was only doing like 8 miles, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the alternator has to work harder or something, so it uses more fuel.
Yeah.
What else have I got here?
Voice activation.
Oh my god, you're nailing these. Yeah, I'm yet to find a single one that works.
Yeah, I did that Audi A3 review recently, and it had voice activation on it. And it was completely useless. Like you say something, and it just goes. It doesn't know what it's on. It goes through the menus by its own. And it's like I don't understand.
The Ford Sync system is the worst, isn't it? Where you've got that really cold woman, and it's like. Select sync on your device and find sync once it has been found. What would you like to do? Would you like to call someone? USB. And it's like, what the hell is this? I didn't ask for any of this, but she just runs through everything that she can do, even though she can't do anything. You know what I mean?
It is. It's so utterly pointless, isn't it?
Yeah, and I remember when it first came out as well, and Jeremy Clarkson's testing the new Jag, and he's raving about it, but it's like, how did you get it to work? You know what I mean? This was in 1999.
Yeah, true. And also, another thing that I think is just stupid is those what's it? Like they got like the air beds, but you can they're molded to like the seats that you put in the back. Do you know the ones? You know what I mean?
Air vents, as you say?
No, air beds. So
what are they?
Blow up beds.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? What's an airbed? So like you get like an airbed, you have to pump out, and it's like squidgy. It's got loads of air in it. Hence the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get one for the back seat of the car that basically have the mouldings that they actually go into they fit perfectly across the seats with no gaps or anything. Silly, isn't it?
I've never seen that before.
Well, that's why they're pointless, because no one's bought them.
There's certain warning lights as well.
Yeah.
A line steering wheel, it sends you a message for that. Caution, engine running. I know the engine's running, I've just started it. Cars that lock themselves. So you open the car, you get to the car with your shopping, and my Lexus does that. And it's like,
is it?
I didn't ask you to do that. You know what I mean?
I thought most cars lock itself though when you leave.
But they shouldn't.
Because people forget though, people are stupid these days. They just go, oh, it's lock my car. No, it does itself.
Yeah, but if I've just unlocked it, the last thing I want you to do is lock yourself again. You know what I mean?
True, yeah. So you're saying your car double locks itself?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's fair enough. That's pretty pointless. I'm saying if you forget to lock it, it just locks itself after like 5 minutes.
No, this is sooner than 5 minutes.
Really? Okay.
What about eyelashes on cars?
Yeah, that is really pointless. Or like the red noses from like Christmas red noses,
and the antlers.
Yeah, it's just really, it does my head in, mate. It's just like I see them and go, what do you actually? I bet your house is just full of decorations and brown furniture.
I like where they have the stickers where they make like the Peugeot logo, and it's got like a devil's tail on and things like that.
Yeah.
Same with the Audis and Volkswagens, and they've got 2 devil horns. Like, how small is your willy? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is this?
Very true. I haven't got anything else I can think of.
What are your thoughts on stickers, by the way?
I like stickers. Some are pointless. I had one for the Mazda, which was I basically put in the bonnet, and it said if you can. It said this way up, and then the upside down it said if you can read this, I'm in trouble. Which I think was quite funny.
Well, funny ones are good. I've got obviously Scrappage Scheme Survivor, which is quite meaningful. Yeah. I've got the Never Been sticker for the Nürburgring on my Saxo, and there's a brilliant website called Young Retro Motor Club, which do brilliant stickers. I would highly recommend them. You've got the Just Burns Oil sticker instead of Just Stop Oil.
Brilliant. I'm gonna get one for my Land Rover. That's amazing.
You've got rated 4.9 out of 5 on Rust Pilot. And you've got, instead of Arnold Clark, you've got Old and Crap, which is like, I think, Scottish for old.
Brilliant.
Rust Krispies. A rusty car is for life, not just for Christmas.
What's this website called again?
This is called Young Retro Motor Club. Straight out of Coolant, you've got. All sorts of stickers on there. You've got the Loyal Snail instead of the Royal Mail.
Cool, brilliant.
Yeah, I really could go on. But then
these are brilliant. I've never heard of this website before.
You've got the bad stickers then, haven't you? I'm just going to name a few. You can tell me
Child
if
on board.
you agree. Well, yeah, but the best one is no kids left in the car overnight. I mean, how is that funny? What is that for?
All no tools as well. Because how is anyone going to know that there's no tools? They're going to go, oh, maybe we should find out and see if there actually isn't any tools.
The thing is for tools is that's to deter people from breaking in to steal the tools. But like, no one's ever broke into a car before to see if there's a child in there. Like, what is that message for? Oh, God, I was going to break into your car just to see if you'd left little Timmy in the baby seat so I could steal him. Like, it's just completely pointless.
Yeah.
Does your car run on bitch dust? No, it fucking doesn't. Don't put a sticker on it saying that it runs on bitch dust. I've got a black box. I'm more pissed off than you. I bet you'd 100 fucking quid you're not. You know what I mean? Like, I hate these common stickers that you see all the time on cars, and it's just like, sense of humour. Yeah. It's not there, mate.
Yeah, the ones you suggested were probably quite good. Why can't we just be sponsored by them instead? I'm gonna have to go and buy some of these. I'm looking at them now. It's brilliant. Just Burns Oil. That's so good. That is the best. That's sold out as well. That's so annoying. Scrap box. These are
There's
brilliant,
loads,
mate.
Isn't there? There's
I love
loads.
it. That's fantastic, and they've got seam tax exempt. the tax disc. That's brilliant. That's so good, man. I need to get some of those. Have we got anything else? I'm pretty much done, mate.
Yeah, we're done, mate. I'm done.
Done with the rant. So that is the worst and best things to have in a car. So there we are.
Oh, yeah. There is one more thing.
You got one more thing?
No. One more thing. You said that you'd sold your Mazda. Tell us all. What scrapyard did you sell it to?
No, I didn't get it to scrapyard, but it's completely slipped my mind, mate. I was going to mention it at the beginning of the podcast and it completely forgot. So if you have made it to this point of the podcast, then thank you.
Bailey sold his Mazda.
Yes, basically that's pretty much it. So obviously, I told you, Messi, when I got it, I wanted to keep it, but it was just obviously I've still got the damage on it, and the rust was getting bad on it, so I was just like, I can't keep it, especially with the winter coming up now as well. Basically, I put it up on I took some photos of it, cleaned it, everything as much as I could. I put it up on all the Mazda Facebook groups and obviously Facebook Marketplace, that sort of thing. And I just said to people like, look, I'm selling this. I know I won't get very much for it because of the condition. Would anyone give me some offers? I think I sold it within 2 days of putting it up. So I had quite a lot of offers on it, yeah.
Very good.
So I was very happy with that. And I had a few viewings. Some people said you won't get more than $1,000 for it. I ended up getting 1.8 for it, which I was happy with.
Very good.
Considering I put it up for 2. And I've still got to sell the hard top separately, which is another £500, which I'm, again, happy with. I've yet to do that. But yeah, so it's gone to a nice new owner. He's had like 3 or 4 and he's restored them fully. So I'm happy it's gone to him because he can restore the whole car. He said he would send me some photos of it when it's done. The only issues I've had with it, Matty, though, is I was a bit of an idiot and I didn't change the plate over, my actual custom plate. So I basically had to sell it to him without a V5 and then basically change the plate to the original, which I've done, but they've said I can't do it because the vehicle wasn't taxed. And I'm like, well, why does it matter if it's taxed or not to just change the plate on it. So we're going through this whole thing at the moment where I have to change the plate and I have to re-tax it for no reason at all when it's not going to be driven, just to change the plate over so that he can technically own it. It's so annoying because I just didn't get the V5 in time for it. So that's ongoing currently. But I have sold the car and it has gone away. You can see my latest video on the channel, which is like a little compilation of basically where the car's been throughout the years of the channel. So yeah, do get that out.
Anyway,
anyway, it's a bit sad, but obviously, you know, I'll just get another one in the future, mate, and just properly look after it when I've got the money. That's the plan. But yeah, I think that wraps up for this month, doesn't it?
Anyway. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that was a really inspiring story as well, and I've just
was it?
I'm a bit mean about your cars sometimes.
I know the Land Rover and the Mazda have had a bit of hate, mate. You can come and review it, mate. In November, we need to sort that out.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, just let me know when it's fixed, and I'll.
It's not broken.
You've got to leave this in. I'm sorry, you've got to leave this in.
Yeah, I've got to. Anyway, we'll end the podcast here. If you did obviously enjoy, then you can follow us. Well, we need to do our social medias actually first. So you do yours first.
Yeah, watch it. Oh, mine. Okay. Yes, if you like me, then you can join me on my personal YouTube channel. It's Matty's Cars. You should know that by now, guys. Social medias for that, Matty's Cars YT. Very simple. And you can also, if you like the look of me, go onto my personal Instagram. Have a little scroll. It's Matsgram99.
Are you single at the moment? Thank you for that, Matty. Do go follow Matty, of course. You can follow us on you can subscribe to us on the channel, which is where this podcast will be going out on. And obviously you can follow the channel itself on TikTok and Instagram, which is Car Culture YT for TikTok and Car Culture _YT for Instagram. And obviously you can follow me personally to see that. What have I been doing recently? Nothing. Or actually, I will be going to Italy when this is released, so you can go and see what I'm doing there. So
done nothing. You've just got back from Madeira, haven't you?
I didn't go to Madeira this year. We haven't gone this year.
Where did you just get back from?
Greece in August.
Ah, Paris. There we go.
No, Greece, not Paris.
Oh, Greece. Sorry. Greece.
So yes, thanks for watching this month, and we'll see you next time.